Beautiful view of 432 Park Avenue from 53rd and Park Avenue. You can never get tired of that building. It's just so beautiful. It's actually 88 floors because in Chinese, 8 means lucky. So double lucky, 8, 8. And they did that on purpose because one of the focuses was catering to Chinese buyers. And this is Park Avenue. You can see Park Avenue goes both north and south. And you can see the other buildings around here at 53rd and Park Avenue. Just great neighbors for 432 Park Avenue. All the prime buildings that are around here. And then when you look south, you look at the MetLife building where they used to have a helicopter pad at the very top until there was an accident, and then they stopped having helicopters there. But these are the beautiful neighbors of 432 Park Avenue, which is one of the reasons why people really like to have a place at 432 Park Avenue, because you have so many wonderful buildings nearby, so many wonderful neighbors nearby, and they're putting up a massive new structure right near 432 Park Avenue. This is the beautiful open space at 425 Park Avenue. Open to the public, and that's very important. And that's part of what New York City has been trying to do for years, allow developers or encourage developers to have space open to the public. Now this is a tenant building, except recently they changed their mind and created a commercial space in the front of 432 Park Avenue. But it makes sense. On Park Avenue, on 57th Street, it's prime retail space. So to have that prime retail space there makes all the sense in the world. And you can see here how beautiful the building is. Now what happens with a lot of these buildings is they're great. However, a lot of the tenants have second, third, fourth homes. And even though the apartments in this building are very, very expensive, a lot of the tenants, this is their second home or third home. And they're international citizens, citizens of the world, where they're in many other countries also. But you can't have a better address than 432 Park Avenue. You can see this here. The beautiful open space for everyone. And then here is part of the building. It's a glass building that they had. They're trying to lease out space. But I think what happens with a building like this at 432, they try to be very, very particular to who they're going to lease the space out to, because it's a reflection on the tenants, it's a reflection on the building, and they've done everything possible to keep a super high quality image of the building, super high quality image of everything related to what the building is doing. And this was a major development by Harry Macklow. In fact, he developed this, and then he lost the land to another developer, who then hired the other developer. Ended up hiring Harry Macklow to finish the project for them. Here, the other building that's part of this 432 Park Avenue, smaller building, ends up allowing the address to be 432 Park Avenue because this part of the building is actually on Park Avenue. The other part of the building is more on 57th Street. And it's a great use of space that they have here. Great job they've done with everything. And the trees are more to hide the public space from the entryway of the building. There is a parking garage in the building too. Internationally, there's a very big interest in this building. It's because it's a very prestigious building. People want to know what's going on with this building, who's in the building, the quality of the building. And you can see just from looking at the work, superb. Everything about this building is superb. And that's the way the builders wanted it to be. They wanted it to be superb. Even looking at this park, superb. White marble. Which open park has white marble as the floors? No park has that. It's just not heard of. But here, they do it. And they have white marble finish for some of the other areas of this open area. Unheard of. Incredible. Have the parking garage for the building. Yes, they do have parking in this building. Some of the tenants would like to have their cars and have easy access to their cars. You can see this is the entryway for the tenants. And as I said earlier, most of this building is for tenants, for condo owners. And the developers wanted it that way. They wanted it to be exclusive, mostly tenants only. They didn't want it to be owned by a hotel. They didn't want any other operation going here. But on the other side, as I mentioned earlier, on 57th Street, they did make a compromise, and they have retail for 57th Street. And you have to admit that was a very smart move, because you get so much money from retail on 57th Street. And you can see here the exquisite work that was done on the glass that's here. And then they have a set of trees separating this entryway from the public space. And you can see in the distance the public space with the trees, and their additional building that they have to the side that gives it the Park Avenue address. They're trying to put a store there. That's going to be great. Just an amazing, high quality job they've done. And again, you can see white marble. I think the theme was they wanted the white marble to be both near the entryway, where the cars circle around and drop off their passengers, and in the public space to give continuity of the building, to continuity of the public space with the private space, even though the private space is private space. And it's just amazing to have this garage here too, because a lot of times very high profile people don't want to come in and out in a public way. They'd rather use the garage to come in and out. And you can see around here there's a lot of new construction going on. And this is 56th Street and Park Avenue, but there's all this new construction going on too. So it's just amazing seeing this. Then that's looking east. We just looked east. And then if you look west, you see the Trump Tower, which is right nearby. Can't go wrong with that. Super high security. You're going to have the best security here in the world because the president lives right next door. At least for the next 2 years, or maybe the next 6 years. Who knows? But amazing security. But again, 432 Park Avenue, work of art. Tremendous job by one of the best developers in the city. Harry Macklow. To put it all into a little bit more perspective, you can see the building on Park Avenue here, and then the public area, and then the private entrance for 432 Park Avenue. Even though we're very close, when you go far away, this tower really gives you a good impression of how it was built. And everywhere in Manhattan you can see this tower because it's so tall. One of the taller buildings in North America. Perspective of that separate building on Park Avenue. My theory is they needed that building on Park Avenue just to be able to say it's the address on Park Avenue. Tall buildings right near it, all around it, tall buildings. Just a great location. And here you have about 5 stories of potential commercial space at 432 Park Avenue. I think this is the compromise that they had. Now, it really took a lot of negotiating to give the stores on 57th Street to allow the stores, or to encourage the stores to sell out to 432 Park Avenue. I think the concerns of the stores were that they were not going to be adequately compensated. So what 432 Park Avenue did is they paid them out to allow for more height for 432 Park Avenue, and as a compensation, now they were able to build a much higher commercial space than would otherwise have been possible. You can see here the neighbors of 432 Park Avenue, Jacob and Company, and then also Turnbull and Asser. Those were the type of townhomes that were originally where this glass facade was. And you can see with this glass facade, higher ceilings for each floor, and more space. 5 stories instead of just 3 stories or 4 stories. So it'll make economic sense for 432 Park Avenue to have this space. However, I'm sure they're asking a very high price to have access to the space. And that's probably what's delaying the new people from coming in to the space. And you can see at the very top of the space is a rooftop deck. I'm sure that's dedicated to a restaurant slash open area for the tenants of the building who want their privacy, but at the same time they want to enjoy the nice air that's out there. And here, if we take a look to the west on 57th Street, everyone can see the kind of neighborhood that this is. And here we have the Four Seasons right next door. And then if we take a look to the east, and as we turn around, we'll take a look to the eastern part of everything. And that's looking towards Park Avenue. And then Lexington. See everything there. Just amazing. But just getting anything done like 432 Park Avenue is just not possible. It just takes so long, takes so much money, that it's a miracle that anything gets done.